Welcome to the Leaders Insights podcast. Today's episode, FP&A in 2026, Why Your Forecast is Obsolete Before the Quarter Ends. Your annual budget is a fossil. Someone built it in a spreadsheet last November, and by the time your team finishes arguing over the numbers, half the assumptions behind them have already died. So why is anyone still doing this?
Because it's comfortable. An annual budget is a security blanket that lets a CFO pretend the world holds still for 12 months. It doesn't. I've watched teams anchor queue 3 decisions to a plan they locked in the previous autumn, when their biggest customer hadn't even signed yet.
But there's a piece making the rounds this month, FP&A in 2026, Why Your Forecast is Obsolete Before the Quarter Ends. FP&A being financial planning and analysis, the team that does the forecasting. It claims rolling forecasts have gone from experiment to table stakes. Is that hype or is that real?
It's real. And the number that stuck with me. The article cites a Gartner survey showing roughly 2/3 of finance functions now run rolling forecasts rather than a static annual budget. That's a survey from a research firm, so take the precision with a grain of salt, but the direction is undeniable.
Define rolling forecast for the person who's never had to build one.
A rolling forecast means you always look the same distance ahead, say 12 or 18 months, and you rerun it every month or every quarter. So instead of a plan that expires in December, you're constantly extending the horizon. December never becomes a cliff.
Fine, but every CFO says they forecast continuously. What actually changes on the ground when you do this properly?
Behavior changes. When I ran finance at a mid-market software company, we killed the annual budget entirely and moved to a quarterly reforecast tied to 2 or 3 drivers: new bookings, headcount, and churn, which is the share of customers who cancel. Suddenly, the sales VP couldn't hide behind a stale target. If bookings slipped in February, we saw it in the March forecast and cut hiring plans before the money went out the door.
That sounds great until the CEO asks why the forecast moved 3 times in a quarter and stops trusting any of them.
That's the real risk. And it's a discipline problem, not a tooling problem. You don't reforecast everything every month. Key. You reforecast the drivers that actually moved. If you're changing the whole model every week, you've built a nervous habit, not a planning process. The point is fewer, sharper numbers, people believe.
Let's talk about the AI part, because everyone's slapping it on the box. Is AI-assisted planning doing anything, or is it a demo that dies in production?
Mostly it's still a demo, and I'll be blunt about that. Where it actually earns its keep is variance analysis, explaining why actuals differed from the forecast. Tools from vendors like Anaplan and Pigment now flag which driver broke your number, so an analyst spends 10 minutes instead of a full day. That's vendor-sourced marketing, so I'd test it on your own messy data before believing the time savings.
So what's the honest limitation? Where does the machine still fall on its face?
It can't tell you your top account is unhappy because the founder went quiet on a call. AI extrapolates from history, and the moments that wreck a forecast are the ones with no history: a competitor's price cut, a regulation, a customer who's about to walk. The model smooths right over the cliff you actually care about.
So if I'm a CFO listening right now, still running an annual budget, what do I do Monday morning that doesn't require buying software?
Pick your 3 real drivers, not 40 line items, 3, for a subscription business that's usually new bookings, churn, and headcount cost. Build a 1-page forecast on just those and commit to rerunning it at the end of each month against actuals. No new tool, no consultant. You'll spot the drift a full quarter before your old budget would have shown it.
3 drivers, 1 page, monthly. That's the homework.
And burn the annual budget while you're at it. Nobody's ever missed one.
Done. Want to know where you actually stand? Take the CFO self-assessment at mba-training.com.